And breaking news, a family of 4 escaping after their home catches fire earlier this morning. It was around 2 hours ago on Glenda Drive. Firefighters quickly got the flames under control. No one was hurt. The crews did cut power until they could find out how that fire started. As more details come in, we'll pass them along to you.
And also new this morning, one home has suffered little damage, thankfully, thanks to some quick-acting firefighters. The carport of this home on 34th Avenue North caught fire just after 10 last night. Fortunately, crews were able to get the flames under control before the damage was done to the home. No one was hurt. No word yet on how that fire started. Some scary moments, though, at a Kentucky gas station after a truck goes crashing into a set of pumps and sparks a fire. The Kentucky New Era snapped these photos from the BP gas station in Elkton yesterday morning. Police say Bessie O'Brien's pickup truck went off West Main Street, slammed into a support post, then hit several gas pumps before catching fire. Amazingly, the fire only caused some minor damage to the gas station. We're told the 30-year-old ran off after the crash, but was found a short time later. She's now facing a long list of charges, including possession of marijuana and driving on a DUI suspended license.
A woman is in serious condition this morning after getting hit by a car in North Nashville. It happened on Trinity Lane near Brick Church Pike just before 4 o'clock yesterday morning. Investigators say the woman was asked to leave a nearby gas station because she was drunk. Just a little bit later, she was hit. She went to Vanderbilt with life-threatening injuries. The driver is not facing any charges. Alcohol appears to also be to blame for a man getting hit by a car in Smyrna. Richard Donovan may have been intoxicated when he wandered in front of a car on Lowry Street near Washington Saturday morning. Fortunately, Donovan was not critically hurt.
New details this morning about how a man died at the Rutherford County Jail over the weekend. The TBI tells us Jonathan Maxwell was waiting to be booked on domestic violence charges Saturday when it appears he hanged himself from a payphone cord in a holding cell. When jail staff found him, he was already dead. They're still waiting on autopsy results to confirm that.
Governor Bill Haslam is giving his annual State of the State address today. Here's Channel 5's Matthew Torres live for us at Legislative Plaza there with the Capitol in the background, and some good news expected, right, Matthew?
Good news knowing that the state has a huge budget surplus, and so what you can expect tonight is the governor talking about how he plans on spending that budget. And the big thing that he will be focusing on is definitely education.
I could not be more optimistic about the future of the economy in Tennessee. Our job demand is
Governor Haslam says it's thanks to a strong economy and an increase in sales tax revenue why the state has that budget surplus. However, the state had to cut $500 million in recurring costs to make sure this all worked out. During a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce last week, the governor says he'd like to focus the increase in money on education. In his nearly 30-minute speech, the governor also touched base on transportation and how the conversation should expand far beyond Nashville.
The issues around transportation are about, we got to figure out some way to address mass transit and to be able to not just build more roads and bigger and wider roads, because that won't solve our problem, but to start to talk about public transportation.
We will be streaming the State of the State address starting at 6 p.m. on News Channel 5 Plus and on our website, newschannel5.com. Reporting live at Legislative Plaza this morning, I'm Matthew Torres, News Channel 5.
Matthew, thank you. And happening today, the first votes in the 2016 presidential election will be cast tonight. That's in Iowa. The latest Bloomberg Des Moines Register poll has Donald Trump leading the GOP race, about 28% to Ted Cruz at 23%.
And on the Democratic side, it's also close. Hillary Clinton leading the Democratic side, 45% in Iowa. Bernie Sanders at 42%. Polls showing a very tight race. The candidates making their closing arguments to the voters. Here's Marley Hall.
Hoping to dampen Donald Trump's momentum, Texas Senator Ted Cruz made his final pitch to Iowa voters Sunday.
If everyone here brings 9 other people to the caucuses tomorrow night, we will win the caucuses tomorrow. We will win the nomination, and we will win the general election in November 2016.
During an event in Sioux City, Trump pushed back, this time labeling Cruz dishonest and deceptive for sending out this flyer.
Voter violation, and it's like an official document being sent to people in Iowa. That is really terrible. It's a fraud as far as I'm concerned.
Forecasts here in Iowa are calling for snow in parts of the state beginning tonight, which could have an impact on voter turnout. Volunteers for both Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton knocked on doors and made calls late into the night as the two candidates made their closing arguments.
Here's a radical idea. Together, we're going to create an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%.
I will stand up and fight for you every single day of this campaign. And then when we win, I will fight for you in the White House.
Clinton lost Iowa during her presidential bid in 2008. Political analysts say this time around, the former Secretary of State is working on her likability.
She's focused a lot on her relationship with people. She's focused a little bit more on middle-class issues.
With polls showing tight races on both sides, the fight for Iowa could come down to the wire. Marley Hall, CBS News, Des Moines, Iowa.
Iowa voters will begin to caucus tonight at 7 o'clock.
And if you want to vote in this year's primary election, the deadline to register is today. This is in Tennessee's primary. Early voting starts February 10th and runs through February 23rd. And the primary election will be held on March the 1st.